So Richard, we live in a world of social media. How important is social media for the modern estate agent?
Well, we know it's critically important, but at the end of the day, it's what you put in your social media feeds. If you're just dumping stock on Twitter and expecting that to be socially engaged, you're not. Put something relevant, interesting, meaningful, engaging, educating, enlightening, something that people say, oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Example?
How do you tell the children you're moving? Quick little bit, how do you tell the children you're moving is good educational advice to somebody. Make them advisory. It's, as I say, far better than just sticking a property on. By putting a property on social media, it's like walking into a supermarket, grabbing someone at random and saying, do you want to buy a property at 34 Acacia Avenue for £400,000? It just alienates people. Give people something interesting.
So Richard, any tips on closing? How does an agent close that deal?
Most agents actually don't, a lot of them don't even bother to close. They just think if they're nice and they do a reasonable job, they'll get the business. They miss the opportunity, having earned the right to the business, to ask for it. All they need to do is to look someone in the eye and say, would you be confident with me as your agent? And as an EXP agent, because they're individuals, that's what they're getting. They're getting the personal accountability and commitment of that individual. So ask them, would you be comfortable? Would you be confident with me as your agent? Can we get the ball rolling?
So Richard, one of the challenges for a new EXP agent is getting stock, getting houses, prospecting. Any tips on prospecting?
Yeah, I call it breeding. I think every listing, every instruction should breed another two. So when you get a listing, you should be mailing everybody in the area saying, we've just listed a property, we've listed a property in your street, now would be a good time to list yours as well, because very often one property will help to sell another. So that's giving someone a real reason to come to market. So be sophisticated. There's so many ways of doing prospecting really, really well. You just got to think about it a little bit deeper than just sending out regular, do you want to sell your house, free valuation type of stuff.
So Richard, I've sold a few houses in my life, moved a few times, and I think I've always chosen the agents that I've had the best relationship with. Estate agency is a relationship business, isn't it?
Yes and no. Most estate agents are really good at relationships. Yeah. It's so important. And yet the research suggests that of the top performing estate agents, only 7% are regarded as relationship builders. 39% are challengers. People who are prepared to say it as it is and give their client a run for the money and say, I'm not taking on your house until you paint that wall. Tongue in cheek, bit of humour maybe, but to pick it up and drive it, to be the expert and to actually say, no, you're paying me to do this job, not be the weak agent who say, well, I'll do anything you say. Be the challenger, more important even than being the relationship builder.
Okay. How important is expertise when choosing an estate agent?
I think people are very much attracted to the agent that they have confidence in, for sure, but that agent needs to demonstrate that expertise. There's no point just being nice and just being pleasant and good empathy and good relationships and all that kind of thing. You need to demonstrate that you're the expert, and very often the British are not very good at that. They think it's a little bit boastful, but demonstrate your expertise and you'll give confidence to the person who's considering appointing you. There are lots of nice agents out there. Be the nice agent who is also the professional expert that you would want to do business with.
So Richard, how important is it to communicate your USPs?
The USPs, I think in a way that's a bit of an old-fashioned term. It means unique selling proposition, unique selling point, which is all about me really. I'd rather convert that to UCBs, unique client benefits. So anything that we might consider to be a USP, let's flip it around. So what's a benefit to the client and rephrase it in a way that is attractive to the client rather than me just trying to flog something to them. So UCBs from USPs.
Thank you.
So we were chatting earlier, Richard, about the use of the word because, and I noticed you had more to say on
Yeah,
what's that? What's
no,
going on
I
there?
think it's a really useful word actually when used strategically, because it's useful for persuading people and in negotiations and things. Because it's a very effective word. So what it does, it justifies what you're trying to explain to somebody. So you might say, instead of just asking them for their business, you could say, I'm going to recommend you put your house on the market now because we've just listed another one similar to it, and the two would actually market very well together. So not just out of the blue saying, I want your business, you're saying, actually, this could be good for you because you've given them a reason. Yeah.
We hear the phrase social proof a lot. What does it mean in the context of an estate agent's work?
I think it can be harnessed really effectively here, because people are like sheep, you know, and they'll do what other people do. And if you can harness this concept into your conversations with people, and you can say, for example, oh well, you know, so many people are coming to market at the moment in order to take advantage of the London exodus while it lasts, you know, or nobody lists their property with a cheap online agency. You know, why would you do that? You know, nobody else does that. And so when people hear what other people are doing, if you can use words, nobody does that, everybody does that, why only the other day several people did that, I think people are much more likely to engage and do the same thing, that you're trying to nurture them and nudge them into
to give them comfort.
To give them comfort that that's what how other people have behaved. Yeah.
I heard you mention the concept of a tidy desk, and I'm keen to know. I think I know what you mean. Tell us more.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have a tidy desk, of course. And when I'm talking about having a tidy desk, it could be your desk, it could be your desktop, it could be your email inbox, your WhatsApp messages, your texts or phone calls you've got to return. It's just stuff. And if you allow stuff to accumulate, very important, I'll deal with that, I'll put it on my desk, something else comes in, goes on top, eventually you've got a pile of stuff to deal with. The problem with that is, unless you deal with it before you go home or go to bed, it means when you come in tomorrow morning, I'm a very busy man, I've got loads of stuff to do. This stuff justifies your work. If you didn't have any stuff to do, what is there to do? Proactivity. What am I going to do today? I'll call Mrs. Jones. If you've got stuff to do, you won't make that phone call.
I'll have to tidy my desk.
Me too.